You know, smartphones have become so intertwined in our day-to-day lives that, they've become something of like an extra limb. I call smartphones high-powered distraction devices because that is exactly what they are. I mean, they're distracting for us as adults. It's 1,000 times worse for kids, which is why it's good to finally see some states and school districts take some action on this.
Before the bell rings, students at Dunbar High School in Dayton, Ohio, place their phones into these envelopes labeled with their names and grades.
The mornings are just like TSA. Bags, purses, food.
Most Dunbar students have gotten used to the new norm, but some still try to sneak in their cell in a hidden pocket, a bag of chips, a book with a phone-shaped cutout, but this one takes the takeout container. Yep. That's a phone under the chicken.
You see how bad the addiction is? That is straight up addict behavior, man. These kids are out here fiending for their TikTok fix.
Language arts teacher and football coach James Lacking is part of the morning check-in crew. Do you have to laugh to yourself sometimes?
Oh, we have a good time. We have a good time. It's fun to me now.
The district leading the charge in a national battle in education to keep phones out of schools, and their mission is spreading like wildfire. Lawmakers in at least 10 states are already introducing or passing bills to ban the devices.
It should be the entire country because this is just common sense. Here in California, there's finally been some action on this. This week, Governor Gavin Newsom signed a bill. We'll see how that goes.
A number of Ohio schools have made the decision to eliminate smartphone use during the school day. And I believe clearly that is the right decision.
Spanish teacher Essence Wright says it wasn't enough to ask students to keep their phones off or in their backpacks. What is going on with the phones in the classroom before this ban went into effect?
Constant notifications.
What does that do to learning?
It interrupts the whole process. It really does.
If now you have to address it, or you need to have an administrative moment in your classroom that could have all been avoided if it didn't even exist.
Yep, I got friends who are teachers, and they tell me that the number one thing that they have to address every day is telling a kid to get off their cell phone during class.
And now it doesn't. Students don't have their phones from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. when school is dismissed.
Beautiful, that's how it's supposed to be.
Hear that? It's the sound of students at lunch talking to each other and playing games.
See, that is beautiful to see right there. Healthy socialization and playing games. Remember when we used to play games as kids? Checkers, Candyland, Chutes and Ladders, Uno. Let's get back to that.
When we were allowed to have our phones, at lunch, it used to be really silent and nobody would talk. So,
Seniors Jayla, DeAndre, and Rayvon, along with freshman Moses, say they understand the reasons for the cell phone ban. Raise your hand if your parents would say you are addicted to your phones.
that's all she say.
Yeah,
Do you think your mental health is stronger because of this cell phone ban?
definitely. Yes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean they always liked it.
I'm always used to having it in my pocket, so for it to be taken away, it's just it's like losing a limb.
You weren't happy in the beginning. Now it's been almost a full school year. Has your perspective changed, and how?
At first, I didn't see the reason for them taking our phones, but at the time it's passed, I've seen the benefits from it, or how much of an effect it's had in classrooms and behaviors.
New data out of Norway reinforces what educators call common sense. After examining middle schools with phone bans across the country, researchers found that students saw higher GPAs, fewer mental health consultations, and more than a 40% decrease in bullying incidents.
Okay, now that bullying stat shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. I mean, I think there's no doubt about it that smartphones and social media foster a bullying environment. Everybody wants to go viral these days and capture viral moments, usually at somebody's expense. During school hours, an embarrassing moment captured on camera and posted online onto social media for the whole world to see. That's just an awful thing for a kid to have to deal with.
Some parents worry about not being able to reach their kids in an emergency.
Oh man, you hear that BS all the time from parents, how will we be able to contact our kids in an emergency? Come on now, if you're a parent, you got a kid in school right now, you're not that old. You remember being in school and that not being a problem. It was either somebody from the office coming into the classroom to get you, or it was an announcement on the intercom telling you to go to the office, and then it's when all your classmates are going ooh, old school.
David Lawrence is the Dayton Public Schools superintendent. When parents who push back and say there's an emergency, I need to reach my child during the day, what do you say?
I say that there have been emergencies throughout the history of school. We've always done a good job of being able to prepare for emergencies and then contact parents in a way that's meaningful and pretty swift based on the emergency.
It looks pretty low tech what you're doing.
It is an envelope. You can buy them at a convenience store. And so you put them in an envelope, store them, and then give them back. It's really easy.
What would be your advice to other school leaders who are watching this and wondering if they should implement this in their school?
I would say that it's cost-effective, quick, simple, and easy.
7 hours of phone-free time might be the best thing that's happened to education in a long time.
They are actually being children. That's exactly what we want them to be. These are the last years of their childhood, and we want them to live them.
Damn, things have changed since when I was a kid. Look at them big ass Uno cards. I don't remember them being that big. But yeah, this is a good start. Let's bring some common sense back and get these distraction devices out of the schools so these kids can focus and they can socialize in a healthy way.